right, everybody, it's Miss Hutto. I'm here. I'm feeling a lot better, but the nurse says I can't come back till Friday. So I'm coming back to you here on video, and I'm going to be having a little talk with you guys today because there's some things I am seriously disappointed about. I know you guys can do better. So I'm sharing my screen so you guys can see what I mean. I am looking at my Google Classroom and it's hopping around. So we're going to go to Edpuzzle first. This was a grade. It is in the grade book now. So 2 out of 9 have finished and turned it in first block. In fourth block, that's 8 out of 28. And in third block, that's 12 out of 26. That is an issue. I'm not very happy about that. So don't be surprised when those zeros are in the grade book. Get it done. Second, if I can look and see in my first block, the work from yesterday, Tuesday, 2 out of 9 have turned it in. 4 out of 5 from Monday. For my block 3, we're looking at, okay, that 11 out of 15, or sorry, 11 done, 15 still need to turn it in for Tuesdays, and only 9 out of 17 marking it done for Monday's work. And fourth block, let's look at that. I am seeing 8 out of 19 turned it in on Tuesday, and 6 out of 21 or 6 turned it in and 21 haven't, sorry, for Monday. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that I have assigned a lot of work. However, Monday's stuff should be done by now. You should have marked it turned in. Tuesday's stuff, not all that long, so it should be done. That Edpuzzle, there is no excuse for anyone. So for September 20th, we are looking, and it's the same basic assignment for everybody. September 20th, I can describe and explain causes and consequences of economic and geographic expansion. So we're going to be doing that today in terms of the cotton gin in Georgia. We're going to be doing a case study. A case study is where you look at one place to figure out what was typical in general. So for this one, we're going to go to DBQ Online. And I'm going to look at block ones because I just have to look at one of them. Honors, yours is going to look a little bit different. There won't be quite as much annotation. So you'll see a case study. How did the cotton gin shape Georgia's economy? And we're going to view that. So what I want you to do, is listen to the prompts and figure out what I'm expecting you to do. For example, we always need to understand the question before we answer it. In this case, I want you to define the words highlighted in blue and then reword the question so that it is more easily understood. All right, so what I want you to do, I have got 3 different terms highlighted in blue in the question: cotton gin, shape, and economy. So I want you to define those words for me, and then I want you to rewrite the question in your own words. You can use those definitions as a place to start. Then, using a green sticky note, describe what you see in this picture. Now remember, the sticky note is right here, that T. Drag it over here, turn it green, and then tell me what you see. For example, I am seeing what looks like enslaved people pulling down cotton with some sort of rake into a giant wooden box. That giant wooden box has like some sort of lever that you turn on the side of it. I see more enslaved people, enslaved men in this case. The women look like they're raking the cotton, and the men have some sort of giant um, wrapper container of something that they're trying to lift. And it looks like two non-enslaved people, or at least one non-enslaved person in the background, maybe watching and seeing what's going on. They're in a wooden building. So I would record those things, right? And that gives me my general idea. Then I'm going to go to the background essay. You've got a couple different hyperlinks. So you can click here on the orange one to learn more about Eli Whitney and the cotton gin. And this yellow one is just a map. So you're seeing the sea islands it's talking about. So all of these islands, and that includes Hilton Head Island, where we are, all of these islands are what they're referring to when they talk about the long staple cotton variety that was grown. So it was on these islands only, and the rest of the South was growing something that was much harder to separate seeds from. And so you'll read, and then you're going to answer the background questions and define the terms. Then write a 2 to 3 sentence summary of the background essay. Then we're going to go to the documents. The documents are pretty easy this time around. So your first document is a series of maps, and you've got some questions. Then document B is a reading. Now, honors, you're not getting the breakdown that the non-honors classes are getting. So for the non-honors students, I did what I did last time. I highlighted it and I kind of translated it into words that maybe make more sense for you. I defined some things for you, and I highlighted the questions to go along with what we saw. Then document C, you do have some audio where I'm kind of explaining what I see in this and in this graphic, and then you've got questions to answer. Document D, you have got a reading that I don't really think you need me to translate. I want you to try and read this on your own. There is a hyperlink here if you're curious to read the entire book he wrote. You don't have to, it's just if you're curious. And you've got some questions to answer. Finally, document E is a map of Georgia. Now, what's interesting is that while it seems like Georgia has a decent amount of railroads, by 1860, Georgia had more railroad than any other state. However, the North had 3 times more railroads than the South did. 3 times. So that's going to be a huge, huge difference maker when it comes to the Civil War. And it's also a huge difference maker when it comes to trade. So I want you to answer those questions. All right, so when you're done, you are going to create a Google Doc in today's assignment, and you are going to explain in one paragraph how the invention of the cotton gin led to the need for more slaves in Georgia. I want you to include information on how it led to production of cotton and greater wealth in Georgia. If you have any questions, please email me. I'm available by email. I know you have my email address because several of you have emailed me, and thank you, because I don't know what's going on unless you reach out. So don't be afraid to email me with any questions. I am checking my computer periodically throughout the day. And I will check in with you guys tomorrow, and I will be back on Friday.